Oh, there are. Sorry folks, I was looking for the wee counter there to tell us that people were on, and I was looking in the wrong place as usual. So, thanks for joining us. Thanks for so many of you joining us as well. Quickly, for those of you who haven't met us before, if there are any of you there, I'm Neil, this is the Mrs. Kathryn, and we're going to give you tonight, it's all Burns stuff. Robert Burns, born the 25th of January 1759 and died on the 21st of July 1796. And what we're trying to do is give you a little bit of as much of a local connection as we possibly can. Anything else to say? Oh yes, I have to say hello. She might not be watching right now on Facebook, but when we put this on YouTube later on, I've got an Auntie Grace down in Weymouth, where I was last in 1981, and she's going to be 100 this year. So thanks for watching, Auntie Grace, and might see you again sometime, you never know. We'll start off with a song then. Right, go. There was a lad was born in Kyle, but what's na day and what na style. I thought it hardly worth a while to be sae kind with Robin. Robin was a roving boy, ranting, roving, ranting, roving. Robin was a roving boy, ranting, roving, Robin. Our man at time was Jacobite, was 25 days begun. 'Twas then a blast of January when we answered on Robin. Robin was a roving boy, ranting, roving, ranting, roving. Robin was a roving boy, ranting, roving, Robin. Because of peakets in her lift, for sheep or lives will see the cliff. This worldly boy will be naked, I think we'll go in Robin. He'll have his fortunes great and small, but time ahead's a bin and more. He'll be a credit to us all, we'll all be proud of Robin. Robin was a roving boy, ranting, roving, ranting, roving. Robin was a roving boy, ranting, roving, Robin. Thanks for being there. As usual, we can't see what you're saying, but please keep commenting and we'll read it all when we're done. So we'll be here at about 8:15 or so. Funny time, eh? We keep saying that every time we're on here now, but it's continuing. This time last year, we were in Odenwald in Germany for a Burns supper there, 3 years ago, we were about to, well, we were in Dries Norton, wondering whether we were actually going to get on a military flight to go to the Falklands, and we did. So we were down in the Falkland Islands very shortly after that, well, about 24 hours after that, actually. And 8 years ago, I looked at that earlier on, well, I was actually in Mississippi after having done a burnt supper in Atlanta in Georgia, which was just quite phenomenal, and I saw an armadillo that morning. Okay, these two, I should have been getting ready when I was saying that as well. The next two tunes collected by Burns, and the songs to the tunes would have been written by Burns, but we're not going to sing them. This one here it's Duncan Gray and the Soldier's Return, and the memories that this one has for me is from the first Edinburgh Tattoo I did in 1981, because the military band, the brass guys, they did Duncan Gray, and then the pipes came in with the Soldier's Return at the end. And from looking at the videos 40 years later, they're still playing the same tunes, but that's good actually, so we'll play them for you. Incidentally, the dog is here, he's behaving himself just now, we'll see what happens.
Actually got up right at the beginning of that after what Neil was saying, but he was fine. The next song we're going to do, a very well known Burns one, Jon Anderson My Jo. A couple of years ago, Neil and I were heading up to Fort Augustus in the Highlands to play at a Collie, and we were meandering around. We had a bit of time to kill, and we thought we'd have a look at Kilcumin churchyard. And it so happens that Jon Anderson, the real Jon Anderson, about whom this was written, is buried there. So it was a nice sunny day, and we had all the instruments in the car with us, and we thought, oh, let's just play a tune for Jon Anderson. And we recorded it. So that was really quite something, quite a poignant moment to be standing there where he was buried. And we were also asked to play it at Neil's best friend's funeral. A few years ago, yeah, he's up in a photo up there with Neil. So it's a song with a lot of memories for us.
But now your brow is bald, John, your locks are like the snow, but blessings on your frosty bow, Jon Anderson my Jo.
Jon Anderson my Jo, John, we climb the hill together, and mony a canty day, John, we had been another.
Now me mun taught of Doon, John, and hand in hand we'll go, and sleep together at the foot, Jon Anderson my Jo.
The next one we're going to do as an instrumental. It's another well-known Burns song, but first of all, we'd like to dedicate this one to Paul, who sadly passed away last week. Paul was a member of the Primal Adventures team, and we've done a few things with them over the last year, which was a real privilege. Paul loved the outdoors. That was his passion. He had a tremendous knowledge about foraging and the wilderness and all of that, and indeed he showed us how to make this, which is a wooden tent peg made from a stick found in the woods.
Mark said we were mincing ties.
Anyway, so a huge love of the outdoors Paul had, and we're going to play Ye Banks and Braes, so this is for Paul and the team at Primal Adventures.
Right, first of all, before I do this, this is the first local thing. Before I do this, I've got to get this in. We've actually done better with these CDs this year than we thought we were going to do. I couldn't remember selling many, but Kathryn did the impending tax return there, and we've actually sold some of these. But they're still here. This one is us and a couple of wee pipe tunes. This guy is me and one track of us. If you've not got them, very cheap, £10 each, plus postage and packing, but if you buy two, look at that. It won't cost you any more, and we'll send you the two for the same amount of postage and packing. So, to 26th of August 1787, and Burns was in Falkirk. It was a Sunday, and he came to view Carron Ironworks, which had been on the go for 31 years by that time, I think. Marvel of the industrial age. Forget the Dome, the London Eye, the rest of it. This was it. This was the thing to see. But it was shut because it was Sunday and we were in Presbyterian Scotland. So we didn't get in. And he knocked at the door, and the porter said, don't dare come here, it's Sunday and I'll get yourself away to church. So he wrote the poem, and I'll try and remember it, but I will, just in case, have my Burns book with me. Just a wee bit about this guy. I bought this in 1984 when I was stationed over in Cyprus, and it's kind of came all over the world with me, and it's still here. So anyway, not using it because I've not got my glasses on anyway. We come na here to view your works in hopes to be mair wise, but only lest we gang to hell, it may be nae surprise. But when we tirled at the door, your porter dochna bear us, say, may if we to hell's yet come, your Billy Satan say us. And all the guy's saying there, he's supposed to have inscribed that on the Suhus window with his diamond pen, which was his equivalent of a can of spray paint in these days. Just out of interest, this guy here, you won't be able to see much of it, but it's a cannon made in Carron Ironworks. Not the same size as the two that Burns tried to send to the revolutionaries in France. And that day he went on up to Stirling. I think there was something else I was supposed to say about that. Oh aye, the meaning of the thing. We tried to come in and your porter wouldn't let us in, so when we go to hell, we hope we get the same treatment and we don't get in. So, what are we doing now?
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do another song for you. This one really celebrates the simple pleasures of life and encourages us, I think, to seize the moment, to make the most of the time that we have. When I was looking into this song though, I discovered something quite interesting. I don't know how much truth is in it. The song is Grainger, the Rashes, and apparently it was very popular for American and Irish soldiers to sing during the time of the Mexican Wars. So the Mexicans would hear these guys singing Grainger, the Rashes, and supposedly that's where the word gringo comes from, meaning white man. How much truth is in that, I really don't know. If anyone knows, do tell me. So anyway, we're going to do this.
When lockdown's finished, we're totally up for a fact-finding trip to the Alamo, just in case there's a pipe band out there. Right.
Okay.
Run.
You on it? Cold whistle.
There we go. Right.
You on it? There's not the care on every hand, and every eye that passes on will signify the life of man, and turn them for the lessons on. They can grow the rashes on, they can grow the rashes on, the sweetest
Pearson. That is me, yeah. Oh, aye. Well, do you know, it's a funny thing. I get more nervous doing this than I do in front of a live crowd. Because, first of all, I think you should get nerves. If you don't get nerves, what it says to me is you must have one swollen opinion of yourself for not to get nerves, but which indicates the low opinion I have of myself. But when you feed back from an audience, no matter the size of the audience, well, you know you're going down well or you're not going down very well, so you get it, and that's fine, and you crack on. But when you're talking into cyberspace, you know, you guys could be like drawing moustaches on us or anything, and we don't know. Anyway, we're going to dedicate this one to the dog, and I was going to show you the dog, but he made an appearance earlier on. He's a failed sheepdog, and not now, because we don't have any sheep, but that's why we've got him. He's a failed sheepdog, and the first tune is called Collie Ewes, which to the foreigners amongst you is sheep. So we're just saying we're calling the sheep in. And the second one is A Fond Kiss, which again has some totally fantastic, really meaningful lyrics, but we're not going to sing them.
By all means, sing at home. Do a tune on the clarinet now. It's the Chevalier's Lament, which was a song which Burns wrote, but we believe the tune itself was probably written by the Irish blind harpist Turlough of Carron, who wrote a great many tunes, some of which we play already. So yeah, the original tune was named Captain O'Keen. So it's the Chevalier's Lament. Hey.
Okay. We're sort of winding down now, a couple to go. And the next one we're going to play, we before last year hit, we were lucky enough to start doing a couple of presentations, funnily enough, on Jacobites up at Calendar House in Falkirk. And we played this tune, and it was a 30-minute presentation, different classes came in. And this is the one that they all knew Ye Jacobites by name. But they all thought it was a Jacobite song, and I stood and argued with them. And their teachers, who of course know everything. Right, that's enough. But it's not so much an anti-Jacobite song. It's an anti-scheming and plotting for violence. Because if you think about it, he wrote Carron Ironworks in 1787. Now the Jacobite rebellion was only 40 years before that. Now 40 years ago, roughly, was the Falklands War, and that's like yesterday. So it'd be pretty much in people's mind, insurrection, the French thing was going on. So it's actually a geese piece we've had enough song, really. But it's quite good. We'll see what we can do with it anyway. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, ye false one proclaim. Your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear. You will hear, your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear. What is right, what is wrong, by the law, by the law. What is right and what is wrong, by the law. What is right, what is wrong, the weak and the strong. The short sword and the long, 40 draw, 40 draw. The short sword and the long, 40 draw. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, ye false will proclaim. Your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear, you will hear. Your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear. What makes heroic strife? Frame the far, frame the far. What makes heroic strife? Frame the far. What makes heroic strife to whet the assassin's knife and hand the parents' life with bloody war, bloody war, and hand the parents' life with bloody war. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, ye false and proclaim. Your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear, you will hear. Your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear. In the state, let your skins alone in the state, and let your skins alone adore the rising sun, and leave a man undone to his fate, to his fate, and leave a man undone to his fate. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, lend an ear. Ye Jacobites by name, ye false and proclaim. Your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear, you will hear. Your doctrines I'm and blame, you will hear. Right, and second last one. So, Burns didn't get into Carron Ironworks, and he made his way then up to Stirling, and by that time the Stirling Castle was more or less in ruins. For a very good purpose, because again only 40 years ago it had been besieged by the Jacobite army, unsuccessfully as it happens, but it would not have been a good day for the government if they had actually taken the castle. So it was lying empty at this point, and I'll just use my glasses because I think I know this, but I wouldn't want to make an idiot of it. So if you listen to it then, he first of all laments the state that Stirling Castle was in, yes. And for those of us that might remember the 1970s, it was even worse than then. And he then gets a little bit seditious, almost treasonous. So he's attacking the royals, that's the House of Hanover. He's sort of lamenting the House of Stuart. He's not actually saying let's bring them back, but he's lamenting them their away. He's attacking the House of Hanover, George III in particular, and he uses words which would be inappropriate these days, but was very much in usage then, and with good reason, because everyone thought King George III was mad at the point. So here's Stuart. He's actually behaved himself for the last few times. What that is the collie. That's the sheepdog. That's why he failed. He wouldn't have shot his purse. Milo, come in. Come on. I was going to get that perfect as well. Right, here we go. Okay, he has been good. He's been through a rehearsal. Here Stuart's once in glory reigned, and was for Scotland's weal ordained. But now unroofed the palace stands, their sceptre fallen to other hands, fallen indeed into the earth, whence grovelling reptiles take their birth. The injured Stuart line is gone, a race outlandish fills their throne, an idiot race to honour lost, who know them best, despise them most. Now, not to be too nasty, but that's the relatives of the mob that are on today, but we'll leave that there. Anyway, you're on.
Oh, it was good of Milo to join in.
It was, yeah.
Give you a bit of support there. Yeah, just before we do our last song, a big thanks to everyone who's joined us tonight, and we'd also like to thank the Odenwald Association. They put on an amazing Burns night online on Tuesday evening with people participating from Germany, from the Odenwald region and from the Falkirk area. It was quite something, and really good fun to take part in that. And also Falkirk Folk Club had a tremendous online session on Thursday evening. What else? Oh yeah, tomorrow night we've been invited by an American friend who is a fantastic clarinet player. He's doing a wee Burns thing, so we're going to be joining in with a couple of tunes for them tomorrow evening. Our next online concert is going to be on the 13th of February, and that's a selection of pretty much cheesy Valentine's tunes, a mixture of love songs and so on from a few different places actually, not just Scottish. So 7:30 on the 13th of February, do join in. I'm going to talk. He's lying with his head on top of his toy rabbit and he just looks really funny. Anyway, the last tune, sometime our national anthem, believe it or not, so I don't know whether it will be again or not. The tune itself dates back to Hey Tootie Tatey is the tune, and it dates back to 1200 at least. Burns, as usual, used the tune for his own words, the words that he attributed to Robert the Bruce, addressing his troops before Bannockburn. Again, just up the road. That's not really why we chose it, but it's quite convenient. So they'll be instrumental first and then sing it. And if you would join in at home, that would just be absolutely fantastic. And thank you once again.
and Owsley Arch, see the front of battle loud, see approach round Edward's far, chains and slavery.
While the hearts returning, what can fill a coward's grave? What cities as be asleep, let him turn and flee.
War for Scotland's king and lord, freedom sovereign strongly draw, free man stand, the free man fall, let him follow me. By oppression's woes and pains, by our sons and servile chains, we may drain our dearest veins, but they shall be free. Lay the proud usurper low, tyrants fallen in every foe, liberties in every blow, let us do our deed. Scots Wha Hae, Wallace bled, Scots one Bruce has often led, welcome to your gory bed, or to victory. Thanks again, folks. Good night.
Thank you.